let's welcome back onto the stage, Mr. Peter Doyle, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you. Welcome back again. I'm back. Thank you to Abdurrahman for an amazing speech. And my speech actually segues into his crisis, because my company was built on a model of SOS. SOS is a signal. And a lot of people might not be aware of its origins, but it's actually a war signal that derives from Morse code. 3 short, 3 long, 3 short. The signal can't be ignored. A lot of people think it's save our souls, save our ships, and they would be right. But in the context of CGW, I actually built a model that stands for sourcing, originating, and structuring. This signals around us everywhere, but sometimes we choose to ignore them. When we were setting out in the early days of CGW, we were involved in some campaigns of raising capital for different SMEs. And when we did our due diligence, the financials looked good, the board were impressive, it was collateralized, the story looked and sounded good. But there was this signal, a really solid signal, and I couldn't choose to ignore it. Some people might call it intuition, some might call it your gut feeling. But something was just off. Something didn't feel right. There was a signal. Years later, that signal served me well, because that particular entity was under question. They lost a lot of money, assets had been frozen, and the inevitable happened. The proverbial hit the fan. Now, I don't want to be that guy that said, well, I told you so, but my thoughts, my intuition, but most importantly, the signal was ratified. So SOS in CGW, it stands for sourcing. Well, what does that mean? Like many of you that live here in the UAE, you might go to Choitrums, Spinneys, Waitrose. You source your weekly shopping. We're the same. There's a lot of noise out in the marketplace with investment opportunities. It's a noisy marketplace. As investors, you have choice to source any of these opportunities. But where it goes wrong for a lot of people is they choose to ignore the signal. This is where we come in. We source investment solutions from best-in-class SMEs that are looking to expand their global operation, to expand their footprint, and to grow. Some of them are actually now here in the UAE, and we're actually very proud to be involved in sourcing with some homegrown entities, and of course CGW is also a homegrown entity. So there's a lot of alignment and synergy with what is happening now in the region. Now, the O stands for originating. When you bought your house, you work with an architect to get it designed. You don't just walk in and buy the first house. You want to make sure it's designed to tick your list of requirements, that it meets your criteria. Originating, you've originated the house, the family home that you're going to live in, to your requirements. We're no different. We originate every single opportunity that comes across our desk, because it allows us to put our best foot forward to understand the model that we've built, which is essentially to deconstruct every opportunity that comes to us, and then we reconstruct it and build it up brick by brick. But sometimes it's during the reconstruction part of that process, it doesn't work. The numbers don't stack. The cost of capital is too high. The board is inexperienced, and we reach an impasse. Khalas. We don't structure it, we don't get involved, and we pass. But it's important for us to be involved in that part of the process, because essentially when you deconstruct and reconstruct something, and this goes for anything in life, you understand 3 fundamentals. If it works, how it works, and why it works. And this is the basic premise of CGW. We understand every opportunity that we take to market. We adapt with market sentiment, as we are right now, with everything that's going on with global uncertainty, unstable markets. We are able to adapt in real time to market sentiment because over 14 and a half years, we've actually built and cultivated a very large network globally. We have partners and relationships in every single country in the world, pretty much. But it allows us to garner that information, that feedback in real time. So when we structured something 6 months ago, it will look very different to today's market, today's appetite, today's investors' demands. And that gives us our proprietary O for the origination. Now the S stands for structuring. Everything in life is structured. Even this event that you're at today has a structure to it. Some of it I'm not actually privileged to yet. My team wouldn't let me see the full itinerary, but I believe it's well structured. Structure is around us in everything in life. This building is built on structure. The foundation of life is built on structure. But when we put our heart and soul into our structuring modality, it allows us to take in all those sentiments that we built from the market in real time. All the different avatars that myself and my teams deal with, family offices, institutions, asset managers, portfolio managers, financial advisors, private bankers, wealth managers. We deal with many different avatars across quite a broad spectrum. And each one of those avatars has a unique criteria. And we're blessed that we're very fortunate that we've got an amazing relationship with our network partners. So we take in all of these different feedbacks from lots of people in different regions, and then we put it into the pot. So when we're in our origination and structuring modes, it allows us to then compile and build something organically that fits for today's investor appetites. And that is the simple premise of sourcing, originating, and structuring. There's a lot of noise out there in investment markets, and a lot of that noise actually distracts people, and it stops them listening. Where's the signal? Thankfully, with what we've developed over our 15-year tenure, is we're able to listen to the signals. We're able to adapt in real time to real-life market sentiment. When COVID happened, investor appetites globally changed overnight. We now refer to this as the post-pandemic investor's mindset. CGW has adapted to that very mindset because we understand how markets change, structures change, investors' requirements change, and we have that innate ability to be fluid and flexible at the same time. We're very delighted with what we've achieved over our 15-year tenure. There's a bit of a full circle moment that's now happened recently with 2 mandates that we've been offered, and they're actually based here in the UAE. And I find it quite unique that the mandates we've been offered are in the UAE. My company was born here in the UAE. The UAE has given a lot to me, to my family, my team, and all of us here. So it's nice to be able to get back to where it all started. The UAE continues to inspire and motivate me, and most of all, it's where CGW was born. And remember what I said earlier, it was born out of a bad and failed investment decision. I've been through that process. I understand the pain, the pressure, the losses. I've done all the heavy lifting, so you guys don't have to. And on that note, I would like to thank you all again for coming. If any of you would like to discuss any of my requirements, you can speak to myself and my team in any SOSing that you may need for your future investment solutions. And we appreciate all your time here today. Thank you once again.